Hello everyone, welcome back to our video lecture series of irrigation engineering. We are going to continue our topic about distribution work, and then especially today our topic is cross section of canal. So let's start the topic. So cross section of irrigation canal. So here is the schematic diagram of this cross section of typical irrigation canal. You can see here some words like FSL and another is NSL. So what is FSL? FSL is considered as a full supply level, right? And the NSL is a natural surface level. These two terms are used to describe this canal, used to define as a cutting or filling. Okay, so here you can see the section of most economical section, right? The definition for this section is partially in cutting and partially in filling and aims in the balancing the quantity of earthwork in excavation with that in filling. So the quantity of the filling material is equal to the quantity of cutting material, right? If both are same, then this section is considered as the economical section, most economical section. So when this NSL is above the top of the bank, the entire canal section will have to be in cutting and it shall be called canal in cutting. So what this word can describe? When the NSL is above the top of the bank. So let's see the figure. When the NSL is above the top of the bank, so this NSL should be here, then our entire canal section is considered as a cutting. So it's that simple as it. If the NSL is here, then this section is considered as cutting. And if this NSL is here, then its total section is considered as a cutting, right? Consider this NSL as here, so it will be in cutting mode. Similarly, when the NSL is lower than the bed level of the canal, the entire canal section will have to be built in filling, right? It's vice and versa, right? It is opposite of this term. So what it can be described as when the NSL is lower than the bed level. So here, when the NSL is lower than the this bank or bed level, so consider this bed level as here, right? This bed level is here, and if the NSL means natural surface level is below from the bed level, consider this level as a bed level and the NSL is below the bed level, then it entire section is considered as a filling. Filling means embankment level, cutting means canal level. So it is as simple as this. Hope you can understand what I am going to tell you. Okay, so next jump to the component of cross sections. So there are following components. First one is a side slope, another one is a bump, then freeboard, bank, service road, back bump or counter bump, spoil bank, and last one is borrow pit. We are going to understand step by step individual components. So let's start with the slide slope. So what is the slide slope? Side slope. The side slopes should be such that they are stable depending upon the type of soil. Okay, first consider it should be in stable mode. Then a comparatively steeper slope can be provided in cutting rather than in filling, as the soil in the former case shall be more stable. So what should it be considered as? When you are going to provide a slope in cutting, right, it should be more steeper than the filling. That means, let's move again with the figure. This is the cutting, right? So you can provide the slope more steeper. Okay, this is the figure of most economical section. But if it is a normal canal, then this top should be from here at this place. Let's I draw from here to here. So this is the side slope. Then bumps. The bump in the horizontal distance left at the ground level between the toe of the bank and the top edge of the cutting. So the portion between a horizontal portion between the edge of this cutting, right? Top edge. This is the top edge of the cutting and toe of the filling, right? This is the toe. We can see in the embankment also this is considered as a toe of the filling and the top edge of cutting. The horizontal between these two terms are considered as a bump. This area, this portion is considered as a bump. Consider as a here to here only. This area. Hope you guys understand about this bump portion. Now next move to the freeboard. What is the freeboard? The marginal distance between the full supply level and the bank level is known as the freeboard. So this is the distance between this FSL full supply level to this bank level, right? This distance is considered as a freeboard. The amount of freeboard depends upon the discharge of the canal. Okay, so the height of this freeboard is depend on the amount of volume discharge from the volume of the water discharged from the canal. So if the amount of discharge water is higher, then this free value of this free body is considered as lesser as compared to the discharge amount of water. That simple is okay. And let's move to the component bank. So what should be the bank is the primary purpose of bank is to retain water. This can be used as mean of communication and as an inspection part. So this portion is give for the inspection purpose. So we can stand here and inspect this total gallery, right? So this is your bank. The topmost portion of this totally canal design, crest of the filling is considered as a bank. Then service road. You can see here the total canal section. This is your bank filling material, like total. This is your bank. The service road are provided on canals for inspection purpose and may simultaneously serve as the mean of communication in remote areas. Okay, so this is your service road. You can see it sometimes on the you see if the canal are going through the road is nearer and pass through the canal, going through the canal, right? On some areas there should be this type of structure you had see. Okay, so here is another term bomb, we know about it. The bank, we know about it. The service road, we just learn about the service road. So what is this DOLA? So the DOLA as a meter of safety is in driving. The DOLA with the slight slope of 1.5 gm1 to 2 gm1 are provided along the banks. So this is the uppermost portion of the bank. It is nothing but the provide a safety to the driver in case of accident, right? So that is next jump to the back berm and counter berm. So even after providing sufficient section of for the bank embankment, the saturation gradient line may cut the downstream of the bank end of the bank. In such case, the saturation line can be kept covered at least by 0.5 meter with the help of counter berm as shown in the figure. So this is the counter berm and the distance from the saturation line should be minimum up to the 0.5 meter, right? But if this filling material will be saturated, right? If this whole area will be saturated, then it is very much higher chances to distress this canal lining, right? So that's why we have to provide a minimum distance of 0.5 meter. Next, spoil bank. So this is the spoil bank. This is our canal lining. It is a full supply level and we provide at the end of the bank a drainage line and then a spoil bank. So when the earthwork is excavation exceeds the earthwork in filling, right? If this earthwork from the cutting is more than the earthwork provided into the filling, then the extra earth has to be disposed of economically. The economical mode of its disposal may be collecting this soil on the edge of the bank embankments itself, right? So that extra earth material we have to dispose somewhere. So we can made a spoil bank from the end of this canal bank, right? For the safety we have to provide a drain here. So if in case there is a excess of water applied and it will exceed from this bank level, and the drain water should be drain out from the here. So guys, today we end up our lecture up to here. The next components will be described from another lecture with example. to design a most economical section of canal. So thank you for hearing. See you into the next lecture with other components.